Hi, and welcome to our video about isolating the variable in an equation. So the first thing we want to talk about when we're talking about solving equations is, first of all, what is an equation and what makes it different from an expression? Well, an expression is a set of one or more terms, and you would simplify an expression. Usually this would be combining like terms, sometimes you'll distribute, things along those lines. On the other hand, an equation is actually made up of two expressions that are connected by an equal sign. You will solve an equation for a variable. So that is what makes them different. Now, you might ask yourself, how do you solve an equation? Once you know that that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Well, you're going to be doing what's called transposition. Transposition is the act of transposing or switching two variables or values. The key part about this is making sure that you're doing the opposite of what's currently happening in order to move things across the equal sign. We're going to move everything away from the variable we are trying to solve for. Now, this makes a lot more sense in the context of equations. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say we want to solve for L in the equation A equals L times W. Well, I want to isolate the variable L. Right now, it is with W, so I need to move the W away. Since it's L times W, the opposite action or operation would be division. So I will divide by W on both sides. When I do that, you'll notice that the W's actually cancel on the right side of the equation. And I have A over W equals L. Now, this happens to be the same thing as L equals A over W. Now, you may be asking, why would I have solved for L? Now, A equals L times W is actually the area equation for a rectangle where L is length and W is width. So if you know length and width, you can just plug those in and find the area. However, what if you know the area, but you don't know the length? Well, if you know the width, you can now plug area and width into our new formula that we've just created in order to calculate the length. Now, let's take a look at another example. Let's say that I want to solve for y in the equation x equals 5 minus y. In this case, this is actually going to take us a couple of steps. Now, there's more than one way to isolate the variable y, but I'm going to go what I think is the easiest way. To do that, I'm going to start by moving the y to the left side. So since it's currently minus y, the opposite operation is addition. I will add y to both sides. When I do that, it will cancel from the right-hand side, leaving me with x plus y equals 5. Now again, I'm trying to solve for y or isolate y. And now it's with x, so I need to move the x away. Since I'm currently adding x and y together, the opposite operation in this case is subtraction. So I will subtract x from both sides. This now becomes y equals 5 minus x once you have canceled out that x on the left side. There you go. So y equals 5 minus x would be our answer in this case. Now, sometimes you're actually going to have a situation where you're solving for a variable such as x in an equation that looks like this. This is a situation where you're going to end up with a number as your answer. So that is totally fine, and sometimes it's actually the most useful thing you can learn, right? I know some of you guys have been looking at equations and going, you have letters in yours. What about the ones with just numbers? Well, the great news is they work exactly the same. In this case, I need to move the 3 and the 4. I start with the thing that's further away and less connected to my variable. So in order to isolate x, I'm going to start by moving the plus 4. The opposite of plus is minus, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. When I do that, it simplifies down to x over 3 equals negative 2. Now I just need to get rid of that 3. Since I'm dividing by 3, the opposite operation is multiplying by 3. So I transpose the 3 by multiplying on both sides, and that gives me x equals negative 6. And there is my answer in that case. And that is how you isolate the variable using transposition.